just now realizing I have no idea what my loadout is on this guy. I just kind of loaded the character in. So we may be cooked here. We'll find out. Anyways, you know, I've never told this story, so bear with me as I tell it. Oh my gosh. I've also never played this character before, so bear with me on the gameplay side of this game. But my senior year of high school, I almost completely ruined my friend group. I know that's a statement to say, but trust me when I say it, it almost happened. And so you may be wondering, how in the world does this almost happen? And just so you know, it was completely accidental on my part. I didn't mean for any of it to happen, which I don't know if that makes it better or worse. So, it is Halloween of my senior year of high school, 2021, to be exact. What the heck? What are y'all doing here? And so, we are going to a haunted house. And so we're in one of my friend's Jeeps, riding around, and we start talking about one of my friends. He had just invited his girlfriend kind of into our friend group without really asking. Now, we didn't really have a problem with her. She was pretty cool. We were already kind of friends with her to begin with. It was just weird that he didn't really say anything. He just kind of added her to our group chat with nothing else. Just, she's added to the group chat. No say from anyone else. She's just here now. Which we were perfectly fine with, like, you know, her being in our friend group. It was just like, hey, could you at least ask us before kind of inviting her into the group chat? Oh, well. And so, we were kind of talking about that and how that was just a little bit weird. Just keep that in the back of your mind for later, because it will come up. So we do this whole haunted house. It's pretty cool and all. There it is. We do the whole haunted house, head back. We drop one of our friends off. And so after we drop him off, he had a crush on one of our other friends in the friend group. And so the other two of my friends kind of start talking about that. They're like, oh, well, I wonder if he's ever going to ask her out. He eventually did ask her to prom, but that's about as far as it got. And so they start kind of talking about that. And so after all of that, they drop me off. I go home, lay down, and the friend that we dropped off the first time kind of, he texts me. He's like, hey, did they, you know, I forget exactly why. I forget why he asked me this. I think it was like something they were talking about beforehand that kind of made him want to ask me. But it was like, hey, what were they saying? What did they say after I get out of the car? And so I give him the worst rendition of what happened ever. I basically misconstrue everything that was said into something completely what was not said, to be honest with you. And so that obviously makes him very upset, and eventually somehow I can't remember if I told him they were saying something about our other friend who kind of invited his girlfriend into the group chat, or I told him if I told my friend that they were talking about him adding his girlfriend, or if I told my other friend. I should probably give these people names, honestly. And so retroactively, that's what I'm going to do. Friend one, the guy driving the Jeep, we are going to call Timothy. Friend two was a girl. We're going to call Jenny. Friend three, the guy who was riding in the car with us, we're going to call Carl. The person Carl had a crush on, we're going to call Amber. And then my friend who invited his girlfriend to the group chat, we're going to call him James. So, Carl, I eventually tell Carl, you know, hey, they said kind of this about you and this, all of which just was not accurate at all. I don't know why I told him they said this. Like, I don't know if my memory was just bad or what. That's what I told him. And eventually it gets to James that, hey, you know, they were talking about you and adding your girlfriend and all that. And that also kind of gets blown out of the water as far as what they were all saying. And so basically everyone kind of hates everyone. Not Timothy and Jenny, you know, they didn't really hate anyone, but you know, now Carl and James are like, hey, you guys were talking about me behind my back and all that. And so basically we had a thing where every Wednesday morning we would go and have breakfast our senior year. It was called the Flops Fan Club. And the reason it was called the Flops Fan Club is one of my friends had a pet cow, because he had farmland, named Flop. On YouTube, I'm gonna put up a picture of Flop. I have no idea how Flop got in the store, but in this picture, he's in a store, just so you guys know. I have no idea how he got in there, but he was in there. But that's Flop. And so that's what our group chat and our friend group was kind of named after, was this cow. And so every Wednesday morning, you know, we had breakfast before school to kind of just, you know, hang out. It's our senior year. We just want to have fun and hang out before we have class. And so these two friends, James and Carl, stopped showing up to the hangouts. And so that raises some questions, and they kind of stop talking to everybody. Like, they'll respond, oh man, but it's very like, yeah, whatever, kind of like very short answers. And so Timothy is like, hey, something is definitely up here, but I don't know why they won't text me. And eventually it gets out, I forget exactly how, but that they were upset because somebody said something. And eventually, you know, they kind of know that no one really said that. And so, but they're trying to figure out now, who in the world would have said this? Like, who would have just straight up lied? And so during this time, I played a bit of L.A. Noire. I played my fair share of Among Us. And I touted myself as a very great detective. And so I'm looking at Timothy, I'm looking at Jenny, I'm looking at Carl, I'm looking at James, and I'm saying, hey, I am a very good detective. I'll get to the bottom of this. All while I was the person who did it. But for some reason, I just did not put those things together that I was the one who did it. And so all of this time, everyone's like, all right, we got to figure out who said this. And I'm like, I'll get to the bottom of it. Don't you guys worry. And a couple of weeks go by. I'm leading the charge. I'm asking them, hey, why are you mad at this person? Why are you mad at this person? And eventually it gets revealed that the reason they were mad, because they wouldn't say why they were mad, they were just saying, hey, I'm mad, which very childish thing to do, not gonna lie, but they're saying I'm mad, but I'm not gonna say why I'm mad. And so it eventually gets revealed that the reason they were mad was because of what I had told them that Timothy and Jenny had said about them, which was not true and was a complete fabricated lie by yours truly, unintentionally and unknowingly. And so all of this gets kind of put out in the open, and everyone's like, the detective was actually the culprit. And the person who everyone thought was kind of going to solve the case was actually the one who committed the crime in the first place. Luckily, you know, the friend group stayed intact and alive. It was kind of all water on the bridge at some point, but it was very funny that I was the reason the problem started and was also the person trying to solve the reason. So, yeah, that's how I almost ruined my entire friend group my senior year of high school.